For now.
So we're going to start in our skills practice book. I believe it's somewhere around 409. Looks like this, number 4.
Wait.
Maybe not.
That's 409. Yeah, this 411. 409. 411.
413.
Okay. Done.
If you already have some of these done, that's okay. Just go in and make sure you're doing them correctly. So on this one, it wants us to find the slope of the line using point D. So I'm going to start at the origin with 0, 0, and use point D at 550. I start by writing slope equals rise over run. My rise goes from 0 up to 50, so that's 50. And then my run goes from 0 over to 5, so that's 5. I get 50 divided by 5, which is 10. And that's my slope.
I love math.
Okay, yes, sir. Okay. Next question, number 6. Again, we're going to find the slope, but this time we're going to use point F. So I start with the origin, 0, 0. That's an easy point to use when we're talking about slope, so we want to use it whenever we can. And then point F is 18, 180. I write slope equals rise over run. I write this on every single problem. If you want a 4, you got to write this. Yes, sir.
So even any problem you have to write it?
If it's asking for slope, you need to be very thorough in how you show your work. Yes, sir.
I think I know the answer.
Okay, so we're going to go from 0 up to 180, and we get 180. And then we go from 0 over to 18. So 180 divided by 18 is
10.
10.
Yes.
So that's our slope.
Wait, where did you have? Oh, you just divide them?
Correct. You just do division. It's the same line on both of them, so you should get the same answer. Now, when we get to a graph that's a different line, we would assume that it would be a different slope.
Do we always have to simplify?
Yes, you always need to simplify. All right, let's look at number 8. On this one, you have to pick your own points and determine the slope. So, again, I pick points that are easy, meaning that they're easy to work with without a calculator, and they're easy to spot on the graph. The first one I'm going to pick is 0, 45. The second one I'm going to pick is 9, 0. Then I write slope equals rise over run. I start on the left, and my rise is actually falling, so it's negative 45. And then I go from 0 to 9, so the run is 9. And then we just divide. So negative 45 divided by 9 is?
5.
Negative 5. So that's our slope. Okay, number 10. We've got to identify our points. The easiest one to see is 0, 0. And then the next easiest one for me is 10, 150. And you can choose any points that you want. You should still get the same answer. I write slope equals rise over run because I do that on every single problem. I'm starting from the left and moving towards the point on the right. So I'm going to rise 150 units and run 10 units. $150 divided by 10 is
15.
15. So our slope is 15. Yes, sir. 2 and 30. Okay. You should. Yep. Good job. Yeah, because it's a straight line. So no matter what 2 points you pick, you should get the same answer. Yes, sir.
What if the line is like crooked?
If it's curved, it would be different. Yeah. Next one, number 12. What's a point that I can easily use on this one? 0, 0.
304.
Okay, and then remember our x value goes first, so
4, 300.
you could do 4, 300. I'm going to do 1 and 75.
Wow.
Tricked ya.
Wait. Oh, yeah.
Then we write slope equals rise over run, because we do this on every single question. Yes, sir.
It's page 418.
Like, where'd you get? Not where'd you get, like, oh, there.
Did you figure it out?
Yeah.
Okay. So we start on the point to the left and we rise up to 75 and run over to 1. So 75 over 1 is just 75.
That's crazy. Only in your mind.
Alright, number 14. This one is a little different. We have to find the slope on both lines, and then we're going to talk about which is more steep. So just looking at it, which one is more steep?
First one.
The, they're labeled with letters. So
Oh,
it's
B.
line B is the most steep, okay? So the first thing we need to do is find the slope for line A. I'm going to pick 2 points. My first point is 0, 5.
0, 5.
The second point I'm going to use is 1, 7. And I write slope equals rise over run. If you put slope equals rise over run, hey, I can give you a point on a quiz for that. If you don't put anything, I can't give you any points, but you should be able to put slope equals rise over run. So I run up from 5 to 7, and that's 2. And I run over from 0 to 1, so that's 1. 2 over 1 is 2.
Amazing. I
Yes,
don't,
sir?
I'm sorry. This might sound really dumb, but I don't know where you got 0 over 4. 0, like, comma 5. Like,
It's that point right there. That's kind of hard to see. But that,
oh, yeah, okay, I see.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Thank you.
you're welcome. Okay, we're going to now do the same thing on line B. So I'm going to give you a 30-second head start. Line B. Ask that again. Okay, so when it's a fraction, that is a fractional number, and a decimal is also a fractional number. They're not whole numbers, correct? There's something in between. So fractions and decimals are kind of the same idea with that question. So yes. So for line B, I'm going to pick the points 0, 5, because it's already picked, and 1, 9. Slope equals rise over run. I rise up 4, and I run 1. So 4 over 1 is 4. Now here's, yes ma'am.
Five.
Okay, so then do you see how each grid line does not represent one unit? It represents half a unit. So that's, I'm assuming you counted, hold on please. Yes, sir?
I understand the numbers you put down for like, on the grid.
1-9.
The 1-9? Or,
Like, you know how you put 1-7 for
Uh-huh.
A?
Correct.
The one you did for B.
is 1-9, it's just it's the point that's on that line B. I'm just naming a point.
Oh, just a random one?
Yeah, you can pick any point on that line that you want. Yeah, it's up to you.
You just gotta figure it out.
Okay, now here's the actual question that I have. Which is more steep? Now you already told me it was line
B.
B. When you saw that, when you saw the graph, it was line B. Which one's more steep? Did I change the line? No. So it's still line B. And which one has the larger slope?
So the one with the highest number is one more steep.
So the one with the highest slope or the largest slope has a higher, or is more steep. Yes. Let's look at another one. Number 16. Which one's more steep?
B.
Here, do this. Write on your page which one you think is more steep. And we'll see if you're right or not.
It's probably a trick question. Or pick A.
Okay, we're going to start by finding the slope of line A. I pick a point, and you can pick any that you want, but I'm going to pick 0, 80. Then pick another point, 8, 0. Then I write slope equals rise over run. And my rise is actually a fall, so we're going to say negative 80. And then I'm running 8 units. So negative 80 divided by 8 is
10.
negative
Yes,
10.
So a negative divided by positive is negative.
Correct. Okay, and then line B, I'm going to keep the 0, 80 because it's already on there. Yes, sir?
So, for like the ones you pick and they're next to each other, you do like multiplication.
What do you mean?
Like how you pick 0 and 80.
Uh-huh. I picked a 0 and 80, and then what did you say?
Like what do you like? You do like multiplication. Do you get like negative 80 over something?
I'm looking at how many units did I fall. So the fall tells me negative. And then I'm going from 80 to 0. So that tells me 80. So what we're really doing is subtraction. So for line B, the second point I'm going to use is 4, 0. My slope equals rise over run. And again, I'm starting at 80 and I'm going to fall to 0, so that's negative 80. And then I'm going to run over to 4. So negative 80 divided by 4 would be negative 20. So earlier we said that the bigger number is more steep, correct? But when you look at the picture on this one, which one looks more steep?
B.
I'm thinking B looks really steep.
Yeah, that's what it's like almost straight.
So the fact that it's negative is more of a direction thing, okay? So you're really looking at like absolute value. So since the negative 20 is further from 0, it's more steep. Does that make sense?
And I thought it was a trick question.
It's just different. All right.
I'm looking at your feet.
I thought it would be more A since it's closer to 0.
Now we're on lesson 3.2, skills practice.